Boy, nothing like putting an almond joy in your mouth right before Dungeon
DM.
No, it's the shards of coconut.
Right, yeah. They're sharp like glass.
Yeah. So, party hello. I hope you enjoyed the long rest from the extended vacation, extended weekend off. Plus, of course, we were out last week. So, I don't know how much you still remember of that very fateful time.
I wrote things down.
That's right. Idle/Tracy in this case is the note taker. That is a fact. That is awesome.
It's almost like it's your job.
Because you often remind me of things even I forgot. But I do remember that the very last thing that happened is after successfully coming back from the Bandit Quarter of Versailles with Statue Friend, or is it Frunk Junior?
Junior.
Which was one of my favorite parts, was getting him through customs. And just essentially a large overcoat. That was good. But then something else, that night, you had decided Amixul could come along for the ride. He was eagerly packing up all of his lore and belongings as one of the preeminent Cyrenus scholars of this area. And then you were hanging out at the Drought of Spirits, where you had crossed paths once again with the Rune Academy Arbiter, Natasha. Only this time she was just a bit in her cups. Seemed a little bit bent about something. Talked to you, Idle, and really was asking you like what you had found out in the abandoned quarter with some ominous warning about, do you really want what happened to the Sirens to happen to the rest of the build? And that was basically, I think that was
And
kind
the
of
answer was
it.
yes.
Oh, wait, that was not
the
it.
answer was no, I'm not going to let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better.
Oh.
That's right. That's true. And to which she scoffed a little bit. And she also had laid down some other little bit of warning about entering the final measure of your song.
Right, yes.
Not necessarily now her responsibility, because you were coming face to face with Dakota, which whatever the heck that is. And then she bought everybody drinks and or thread.
I tried to give her a hug.
You did. I remember that. And she was kind of cold-shouldered about it.
Yeah, she was not into it.
She wasn't as effusive as she was when you first met her back in the day in Guild.
No.
Yeah.
She seems like she'd be pretty cool if we weren't like mortal enemies.
In fairness, it does seem like she'd be pretty cool. She's pretty cool. You'd be a pretty cool person to hang out with. But maybe you're not mortal enemies anymore. who can say? Who knows? Maybe she's off duty and she's just like, woohoo. So the evening passes uneventfully after that. Unless you would like to make it more eventful. We'll just continue.
No, I already assumed it passed by resetting my hit points and resetting my hit points.
Oh, yes.
But I already reset my hit points at the evening passed.
I was literally choosing my spells for the day.
Oh, yeah, that's
assuming that the evening had passed, yeah.
It was a long rest.
Right.
It was a long
Seeing that J Flash would like to rest, I would like to start a fight.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, right. From downstairs, you hear the clatter and clash of Dietrich up to his business. In the morning, then, you sleep very, very peacefully. Amixul meets you at the location just outside of the inn that you had stayed at. He is laden down with metal-cased scroll tubes, various other scrolls. He has different types of lenses, spectacles, all kinds of odd implements. It seems like loops for basically navigation, translations, different kinds of brushes and chalks himself. So it seems like he's probably bringing as much stuff as he can possibly bear in all of the lore, as he promised. In fact, he says, "I make friends, a little help with this." He's dragging him a sack across the way. How far through the ship?
A few hours through the desert.
Oh, this bag is not made for such. Would anyone mind carrying a sack or two?
I'll take some.
Indelible lore, my friends.
Why, thank you.
Yes, that's better. Dietrich, you have broad shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
How about putting a strap over one of them?
No, see, I only have these broad shoulders because I spent my youth carrying great weights like that from ship to ship. And I want you to know what it feels like to carry that weight yourself and be as strong as me one day. You'll get there, kid.
He just shakes his head sadly. To bear history is the greatest burden of all, and it is one I shouldered. And with that, he looks also hopefully at anybody else wants to take a bag.
I'll carry some of his shit.
Y'all pull your weight.
Come on, that's very nice.
Well, technically, we're pulling his weight.
That is technically true. but it's something for the whole party.
our
Just
waste.
think
It's
of that
our
galley
waste,
laden
yeah.
with books.
This is our pizza.
He's part of our crew.
Yes,
I haven't had him sign the paperwork yet. I forgot to prepare that while we were
that's right.
waiting. But I will have some things for you to sign next time.
I am honored. Tell me what to sign, and I will sign in blood.
Oh,
You
boy,
don't sign in
don't
blood.
sign in blood.
Please
Ring.
just sign in regular ink.
That would be preferable, actually, quite preferable. So yes, and then every once in a while people give a little stare here and there to Frunk Jr., but nothing that should alarm you at this time. So, what do? You want to cut a path? Don't look at me.
Straight to the gamble.
I react. I reflect your desires. You just tell me.
Just like Junior.
Right? Yeah. To the ship.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
head out to
Ship.
the
All right.
ship. Get out
All
of
right.
here.
That's
Assuming it's still there.
well. It's funny you say that. It is.
Okay.
It
Well,
is.
hold on.
Hilarious.
And he is glad to see you.
That would strike Dietrich as a little strange. We left this ship alone with a known pirate for two or 3 days.
It is true.
It's still here. I lost a little respect for that man.
And Christine, frankly, who knows what weird tete-a-tete was going on that deck.
Job probably talked some sense into them. Good old cousin Job.
Yes. Soft-spoken, rarely one to anger. Cousin
Often
Joe.
forgotten.
The glue that binds, yeah. But actually, the boat is there. I mean, you get the feeling that maybe Captain Krubak was, he also kind of respected you guys for handily, not only defeating some of his crew, but actually saving himself in the process. But he seems very glad to see you. It'll be like 4 or 5 days. He cries out, Captain Dietrich!
Krumak.
Ha! Pirate shake. You're going to want to wash that. The thing is,
Never.
very excited to see you. I was kind of afraid I was going to have to take off with your ship.
Not this time.
No, not this time. But you know what? We could be underway. The tides are just right. And Christine, I'll be honest, is starting to creep me out a little bit. I hear her down there. She's sharpening her knife constantly. It's unnerving. Is there any knife left? Yeah, there's knife left. Shh, 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 shh.
I'll check in with her and make sure that she doesn't stab anyone before she needs to.
That's good, because she's starting to creep a little. Cousin Job, very silently, gives you one of these. Because that means it's high praise for Cousin Job. Mm-hmm. So, one thing that you do note, and Krumak would actually point out too, is that at some point in the voyage to Vandia, you're definitely going to need some supplies. I know it's the old supply trick, but sure. Don't have to be tomorrow, but you have a few days left. But at some point, you either have to take on water. You probably fish off the boat a little bit along the coast, but
Or because
or
this is just a little sloop, right? That we're basically
yes,
in. We could take a larger ship, and they probably have plenty of supplies.
it's very true. It's very true. It's true. Because that is one of the other things that Krumak does, kind of like, especially to you, fellow sailor. It's like, I've sailed around Vandia, but never, to Vandia. But I do know that is some pretty deep water you get into. And in fact, that is true. Vandia is about 150 miles off the coast of the shore. The map that I have, that I actually just plotted a course for you as one of many, many courses. This was because at one point I had run out of page and I was lazy and didn't want to make a bigger map. But really, Vandia is actually closer to down there. It's not quite off the coast. It's not like, it's like Cuba. It's just right there. It's like, or maybe it is like Cuba. How far is Cuba off of Florida?
Are you using the Mercator projection?
Yeah, sure.
It's about this far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is much further. It's about so it's about 625 miles from here to Vandia against current and the trade winds. So it'll take a little bit of time. Roughly 10 to 12 days is what you think. But yeah, he's a little concerned that once you start to cut away from the coast and actually go into the true deep blue, the gamble wasn't really. It's not made for that kind of swell.
What would be the first major port town we would hit along the coast?
To actually get a vessel?
Yeah.
Probably Bourges.
Or supplies.
Yeah, or supplies.
Yeah, supplies.
I think Bourges is a bustling trade port for its size. And actually, one of its things going for it is a lot of times the people that make port there tend to be on the more black market side of things.
Right. Bourges was
So-
where we had meat night.
Yes. And the Dram brothers.
Yeah.
And all that good fun.
Where you met me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Mhm.
where it all started, actually.
Murdering from her first.
Yeah, I sure killed that dude in cold blood.
Right? Sure did.
Those were the days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's true. Yeah.
A simpler time.
Simpler time. It could even be meat night. You could just win your food on your way there. However, yeah, that's probably the place that would be the best bet to upgrade to upgrade your ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Great. And we won't kill anyone that we don't need to. Don't worry, J Flash.
Yeah, I did.
That is true. That is a very interesting
kill anyone
thing.
that you don't need to.
No.
Yeah,
In fact,
exactly.
we're setting them, as you often want us to do, we're setting those sailors on the right path. If they lose their ship to us, they don't deserve to be on the open water. They won't be safe there.
It's very true. They could die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should send them back ashore.
I see. That's right. There's a good moral flexibility, I think, that Flash brings to the paladin table.
I'm not lawful good.
No, I know.
Just
And actually, that's right.
solely from a mechanical standpoint, I'm okay with this.
You're not a paladin. You're a paladam. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. So be that as it may, this is certainly all in line with what you would want to do with the thing. So,
I'm in.
all right. So with that, the tide is right. The tide is high.
Sail.
You set sail. The first day, as you go out, is pleasant. As pleasant as all heck. Just like sweet along. If there's anything you want to do, it's a great day for sailing.
No.
No, nothing. Just
I
want to
don't
move
know.
along.
I haven't got anything.
I would make sure that
Something?
Christine knows that she's been doing a great job. Keep those blades sharp. Keep her eyes open. Don't listen to crew mock.
You
Yeah.
see something I've learned how to do? Watch
Yeah.
this. She stabs a couple times into the mast. To which actually Captain Crow's like, hey, be careful. You could cut something. Maybe like a stern rope. No sailing terms. I don't know sailing terms. Crewback totally knows sailing terms. Allegedly. I mean, a stern rope. To watch the missile mast.
Yeah.
When you get a
Yeah.
splinter in your eye.
You don't want the mesomast going down. It's,
You don't. You really don't. She was the
The,
only
the Paleozoic mass. That's an ass.
Yeah.
I'm basically just alternating between being whatever the darkest, quietest spot is, poking at my pieces of the Siren Walkman, and then occasionally just kind of staring, getting some sun, thinking about it, and then heading back over and tinkering some more.
Mm-hmm. Is that going to do that like above decks? This is not a loaded question. Ominously, I'm just wondering. Do you do that above decks or do you do it below decks?
So I'm down below when I'm tinkering, and then I come back above for some air and thinking, and then I go back down and keep tinkering. That's my cycle.
Yeah, I would think that would probably be right because, just in case, God forbid, something goes, and then it's like,
Yep.
oh, that might have been important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably fair. When you do your attuning, which you can do at those specific periods,
Yes.
is that above decks or is that below decks?
It's probably below decks.
Yeah, I think seems the safest bet on a pitching deck to just be safe about that and then place it in the pack afterwards.
And then in addition to that, I'm probably also talking with Amuxul a bunch about Siren artifacts and the language.
Mhm.
Which we talked about a little bit. But
He's especially talented linguistically.
Yes.
Actually, had done a lot of translation. He's very impressed with the amount that you pick up very quickly. He thinks that's really cool. Frank, if you ever consult with him, he knows a few things about relics and a little bit of the workings of what you would call Siren magic tech. So he can help you with broad concepts of things, but in this capacity, you're actually more advanced than he is, which was also very impressive too. And he's excited by that. So, in fact, if you want to do now, you would try an attunement. If you want to do a little tinkering, this would be a perfect opportunity.
okay, well,
That's not so. Maybe you should take
that wasn't great.
All right,
That's
that's
the
okay.
I can see it from here.
Sometimes it happens.
Natural
Holy shit!
What? That is so good because that's a critical success these days. So, what are you trying to do with that tinkering?
All right, so the goal, I have my disc that had the music on it, and the goal is to get this thing put back together enough that I can ride the lightning again and try and hear some more
But portably.
portably, yeah.
Portable lightning. Yeah, that's cool. I think you feel like you could try to take it out for a little spin if you wanted to.
Got it activated.
Yeah.
Drop the disc in.
All right.
Put the crown on.
Uh-huh. And there was a roll.
There was a roll.
It was an Arcana, and I believe it was a 16.
Sounds right. I got a 21.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, this was the one that was Syrian musical theory and construction? Okay. All right. You're like getting some more knowledge imparted to you. Is there any kind of specific thing that you're looking for? Some effect you would like to try to bring about? Because you're writing lighting.
Yeah. So I know enough about the music of this world, and that stuff was just so foreign and different to me, and it felt important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just trying to pull out anything I can find in the melodies and the harmonies and the rhythms that I'm trying to analyze. Like, when you hear some music from another culture that you're just not in tune with, and you're like, what is happening here? I know there's structure there. I just don't know what that structure is.
Something that you notice in doing this is how often it seems like Syrian music and language are both like interposed, so that in a way the way that the Syrians spoke is a very lyrical kind of a language that actually the way that they wrote it. God, chocolate on my sorry, I'm just like saying, like, oh god, I got all the joy on my heart. Oh, terrible DM fail. It's on my notes. It's everywhere. But it's lyrical, so like rhythm, meter, cadence, same kinds of things that are in music are the same kinds of things that are in language, and you actually, in your mind's eye, can sort of envision the written word and how it's actually structured a lot, very similar to the way that their music is as well. So sheet music and written word are very similar. And because of that, you realize that certain things like means of egress through apertures, through doors, through teleportation, like a lot of that was both tonally significant, something that you could divine, and was also something that was written out as language. So you are both sort of, what I'm saying is conjecturing, going towards the same,
Confectioning.
confectionery to the same point, right? Vectoring. That's what I was looking for the whole time.
I still don't think that works.
Yeah, it does. You're both vectoring towards the sweet
Sure,
space.
I'm not sure you can verify vector.
Converging?
Yeah, converging. Thank you.
He can verb if
Frank,
he wants to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Give yourself
He
inspiration.
can leave his nouns
behind.
Give each other inspiration.
Do you have inspiration right now, right this very second?
I do.
Take stock. Damn it! God,
Yeah,
We just don't use it enough.
I
also have
You know
Get
why?
into some
Because I don't
shit.
make things hard enough on you. That's what I hear.
Oh, that's not true.
Well, that's what I hear.
Frank's
I've
been
only-
unconscious in every fight.
I know, but voluntarily. So really some exciting stuff, which actually can aid you in the future, and more than anything, it means that you feel like if Idol, in particular, were to have some questions, you could potentially use your musical knowledge to aid her in translations, and in the future, when confronted with things that may be more language-based, you may be able to help deconstruct it with some musical theory.
Okay, so question is, now that I got this thing running, can I, like, put it on and try again whenever I want, or was that like a overloaded, I got it happening and it shorted out again afterwards kind of one-time use situation?
That achievement, what are you? Is there a specific goal in mind when you're tinkering? Do you have a end state you want to try to do with this device, or something?
Okay, well basically I just want to be listening to this all the time.
Okay.
Like whenever it is not cumbersome to my party, I'm gonna be in my own world trying to figure this music out.
This is exciting. Let's say this. You need 4 successful attunements of the DC 16. You got 1. And the next time you do one, you'll be at advantage because you so killed it on this one.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
yeah. 3 to go, advantage on the next roll. You keep track of that, though, because I surely will not.
Okay.
In fact, it's already gone. What was I saying? That's cool. So that continues. Sewell seems happy with everything that's going on. Krumak sort of settles into a groove. Christine, for all her weirdness, seems to be, homicidally keeping to herself, which is about what you could ask for. And Job just quietly goes about the tasks of the ropes and the sailing. stuff like that. The day goes down, seems pretty chill. An evening. Question for you.
Yeah.
And I jokingly sent out to you on our Slack the sailing at night. So I did a little research on this because I was really curious. When you actually sail at night, right, without GPS or anything like that, you can hug the coast, but on particularly dark nights, which these are tending to be these days, it's dangerous to actually sail too close to shore because you can totally run aground. And if you go too far out into deeper water, you risk actually sailing too far from land.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally, a lot of times people would actually weigh anchor for the evening, but you don't have to.
How far from Bourges are we?
After this first day, you are still, you're about here, and Bourges is about there. Bourges is right here. Well, you know what? Actually, the first major port you can get to, my fault, the end of your rope, is Bayward. Actually, you could go to Bayward, but Bayward comes with some complications, probably.
So if we were to be weighing anchor at night, I assumed those markers were days of travel.
That's actually 100 miles.
Okay, so
that's one of the things.
Not anything.
Yeah, so I was like, actually, looking at that. So according to the DMG, which I find hard to imagine, a sailing ship only goes 2 miles an hour. That is really fucking slow. Even back then, I feel like that's really slow. That's like 3 knots. So I had always kind of put you at like 6 miles an hour.
Maybe it's an average.
Maybe it's average.
Yeah.
Some go really fast. Sometimes there's no wind.
Some ships aren't moving. They're
Right.
at port. That drags the average.
Yeah,
down.
the anchor.
Yeah.
Maybe try the anchor. Did you try putting the anchor up? So what I kind of did was just sort of go, okay, I'm going to say for the ease of like mapping all that out, you're going like 6 to 8 miles an hour.
Okay.
So basically, these are 100-mile increments. So through the course, a nice 12-hour burn, whatever you want to do it, you end up 12 hours, 8 hours. What's
7 miles or so.
yeah, so like right about there.
So taking stock of our supplies, do we have enough supplies to safely make it to Bourges with what we've got? If we weren't, we don't.
You definitely don't.
Even if we traveled at night.
If you travel at night, based on that,
We will get lost and run out of supplies.
well, yeah, there's a real danger there as well. That is a fact. If you semi-hug the coast, you can actually probably get to Bayward in 7 to 8 days, which I did also do the math.
Okay.
So you see days 1 to 2, days 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because that's what my commitment is to you, party, as a dungeon master. Always be plotting.
We should just rock Bayward.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
You could, I'm not saying like, oh,
And I say that in the most paladin way I can.
Yeah. Lofty, but save you.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to dissuade you from that. Just what you know about Bayward is what you know. But then again, it's a pretty big city. It's the second biggest in the Ville. It's not like the Rune Academy is everywhere. You have, illicit connections on the street.
It'll be fine. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong.
What could possibly go wrong?
All types of stuff will go wrong. It'll be fine.
It's not a bad plan for us to concentrate all of our crimes in one city, so we're only wanted in one place. So
I played Red Dead like that. It doesn't really work.
Bayward sounds like a good plan.
Okay, let's do this.
If video games have taught me anything.
It's not going to work out.
It's just gonna. It is all going to work out. So the evening, getting to that is. You can certainly sail. You can certainly sail even a little bit slower. Although I don't know how good that is at sailing.
I think let's just weigh anchor for the night, play it safe. If we're going to go for the closer town anyway.
That's good. Good.
Okay. Yep. All right. That night, I will ask for a watch, but just so that I know, because again, 12 days. Mm-hmm. So over the course of that time, I would assume that you would set a watch of some kind. Like, not into it.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
it's-
set it.
It's
pass.
probably me and Varys because we only need to sleep for 4 hours.
Yes, that is true. Ooh. That reminds me, Varys, are you out there? Good berries, I see. Of course. So here's my question, Varys. You remember you have a 2-hour beast shape, which you can do twice before a rest. So I'm going to assume you're not in animal shape until
He's been a dolphin this whole time. Which is why he hasn't been contributing.
right. Yes, because basically, that's what I would assume. So I'll let you tell me when you beast shape up, knowing that you can only do it for a couple hours at a time. He's currently an elf. Isn't that the truth?
A dolphin elf.
Yeah, dolphin elf. All right. So watch throughout the night, maybe little bumps here and there, a little bit of scrapings, what have you, but for the most part, nothing. And the morning arises, and it's quite pleasant. As you
That's the first time we've made it through a day without being attacked by those sea creatures.
Something's wrong.
Something is definitely wrong. No, everything is great, party. Actually, one of the things that's quite pleasant that you wake up to is you see like a couple of heads bob up out of the water, and you recognize them when Captain Krumaks
As our friends.
as merfolk. Merfolk's like, look there! And you see them like, trade.
Ooh, trade?
Yeah.
Yes.
Merfolk
sure.
traders often will ply the coasts, and you know what you know of merfolk a little bit. I guess actually you know a little bit more.
Yeah.
Merfolk
Makes
traders
sense.
are not uncommon.
Okay.
They're
Trustworthy traders?
Yeah, they're generally
By
straight
and
shooters.
large.
Yeah, they're not plunderers at all. One of the things
They're not like mischievous fae or something.
no.
Okay.
They're actually a nomadic people.
Okay.
That they come to the coastline. They do, excuse me. They do actually try to wave down ships and stuff like that. They don't really have a lot of metal in their world or anything like that. So they make a lot of their stuff out of coral and shark skins and tooths and bones. Anything that they have in the way of metal usually is from shipwrecks. So consequently, they actually are often trying to trade for things like that. They like shiny stuff.
Would they perhaps like this beautiful golden mask?
Like the one trader comes up, introduces herself as Aloquia, and appears to be the leader of this particular band. And then you see that there are 4 other merfolk taking a respectful distance away. They're not doing anything. They're just like in the water. The ship isn't underway, so they're respectful distance. She swims up, and she can actually go out pretty adroitly out of the water, just on her fins. She's like, whoop, whoop, like motions to like see it.
Yep, I hold it out
All right,
so it's visible.
all right. She's like, ooh, very pretty and strong.
Yes.
She's like, what would you have in return for us? Come. And then you see one of the other merfolk swim up, and he actually has a large net filled with fish, filled with some great crab, I suppose. I almost said lobster, but I don't think actually there's lobster on the. But it's a bounty. It's a harvest of the sea. Well, yes, the mask.
Is this enough food to get us past Bayward or at least to Borge?
It's definitely eating. Well, yeah. You could get to Bayward or Borge, probably.
But we're already getting to Bayward.
Yeah. To Borge, yeah, you
Borge,
can do it.
okay?
You can do it.
Should we do that?
Could be. Makes a nice little chiapino.
Is there a way to cook on this boat?
Oh,
Are we
surely.
eating sushi?
Well,
Everyone looks at the dragon
Christine's
when
like,
you
you
talk
know,
about
You're gonna flash freeze these.
yeah. I'll
surely
make sure
there
they stay
must
fresh.
be, surely you must have some cooking implement of some kind. But that actually is a really good question because they probably salted meat and hardtack and stuff like that. Can't you just burn part of the deck?
Yeah, this whole ship is made of wood.
You've got plenty of material.
I've
You've
made a
got plenty
horrible
of
mistake
material.
with this crew.
Hey, this stuff burns easy. What is this, sail? We don't need all this.
We can
Pull
use
some of
this
this down.
rope and cloth for kindling. It's perfect.
It's perfect. These oily rags
You are also
awesome.
flammable. Don't you dare touch my ship.
I'm not as flammable.
Amok scampers up to the side. He's like, fascinating. I have never seen such creatures. Huh. Do they bite?
Hey, be nice. Be nice. They're people too.
They do not look like people.
Sea people.
See, I do see people. Well, I see kind of people. I see half people. I see half fish. I don't know what that is, but it's exciting. I'm very excited. I don't get out much.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of sea in Dryport. That's part of our problem.
That's true.
Yes.
It's in the name.
That one's looking at me. He seems quite delighted.
Do we want to take their fish?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll
For
take some fish.
the gold Corpse Mirk.
Yeah.
Okay. Good trade. Then Aloquia says, one other thing. We can also provide a service if you have something else to trade.
What's the service?
Cooking fish.
We can remove the sahuagin death runes from underneath your ship.
I'm sorry, the what?
Oh, I thought you knew. You have death runes. The sahuagin have put the death runes on the hull of your ship, promising a bounty for any who will destroy you and devour you and return your heads to them.
That explains a lot.
Yes,
I kind of want them to leave it.
Yeah, I don't.
it is a profane indictment.
Yeah.
We should have now. We should move it. What do we? Well, I don't have anything.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Well, I mean,
It's
I have some more things, but they're
Who wants to
probably
play on
useless
hard
to you
mode?
guys.
yeah.
It's a potion of water breathing and a potion of climbing. I think
Ooh.
neither of which
Those are pretty neat things.
they're pretty neat
But
things.
we
But
don't
you
need
guys
them.
breathe water already.
At the scroll of age.
Yes, and do you
I
have
might need that.
weapons, spears?
What if we could give you something in the future? You are salvagers. You take the treasures of shipwrecks.
That is true.
What if we could promise you a shipwreck 1 week from now in Bourges?
She actually kind of furrows a little bit, like swims back a little bit. It's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. No, we do not wish to cause destruction.
No, don't worry. The ship's going to sink either way.
What would be on the ship?
Oh. I guess whatever we can't take with us.
Whoop. They think about it. It's like, no, this would not be good for the balance of the sea. We take the harvest that sinks to us, but we do not bring it upon us.
All right, your loss.
You get, yeah, they're basically.
Did they want weapons? Is that what she was?
Yeah,
thinking
stuff
of?
like that. I
I
mean,
can give her my spear and never use it.
if only you had a sword.
Well, apparently I do still have a spear.
Oh,
Well,
that's
It's
I mean,
theirs.
I have this plain dagger. I mean, it's just a dagger, but it is made of metal.
And the
she
spear.
like swims up. Woo! She like examines the dagger. Like
Tell her I'm already erasing the spear.
she like throws it over her shoulder, and the other merfolk person, the dagger, the merfolk person just whoosh, jumps up, kind of like a water polo player, just really out of the water, snags it, and then whoosh, back down. The spear as well. She's like, "This is a fine weapon. We will get to work. Is there any other trading that you are interested in?" Let's make sure Varys is not. Yeah, they are talking to mer people. It is true.
Yes.
We are talking to mer
Yeah,
people.
they are talking to mer people. Straight excited. Aloquia. Long names, Mark. Aloquia. Aloquia. Is interested if any other service we can provide. For trade, of course.
Well, if they're not interested in causing shipwrecks, I can't think of anything to make them do.
Contrary to popular myth, we do not create shipwrecks. Those are the sirens.
But wouldn't it be the perfect cover?
So much bad PR over the years from our people.
Sometimes you got to embrace your dark side.
Well, those are marrows, which is another.
Do they want to trade?
Oh, they don't trade. They just kill and plunder. Whoop. Whoop.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave him my spear.
Yeah, you did. So they actually use. She says a few commands in her mellifluous language, and they her people swim under the boat, and you actually do hear like a while she sits there and swims in the water. Hey Varys, I'm just gonna say that you guys have a nice rapport. Because I was telling Jared back home there, this was a moment I had originally thought he would shine in these
Oh.
interactions, because she is actually a merfolk druidess, a druid of the ocean,
Oh.
and so they swap stories. Maybe they swap a few beast shapes. He teaches her how to turn into a bear deep within the ocean.
Less useful.
Less useful. But she teaches him a little bit about reef sharks and dolphins, which seems like that could be useful. And just a few things. And just a few things, yes, just a few things with like the environment of the sea and the coastal environment. So pretend that robust interaction had taken place.
I feel like we
Yeah.
role played for like an hour. There, just swimming in the sea.
Just
Bears,
swimming.
merbears.
Right, mer bears. Mer bears, not enough bears is what I say.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but hearing her sort of melodious and percussive speaking patterns,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of come out of my dark hole and ask, I just ask her if there's any music she can share. Do they have any songs or anything? I'm suddenly becoming kind of more tuned into, like, I want to hear the rest of the music of the world that I haven't heard yet, and starting to think about connections.
She's lights up and you say that, like, oh, and she actually like goes underwater for a quick moment, swims back up. Maybe she's got a little cargo dolphin under there, it's hard to say. And she has one of the conches, it's like, ooh, and plays a very beautiful song. And they harmonize a little bit to it, and it's really quite a nice moment. Give yourself inspiration.
He's already got it.
Yeah.
God damn it, Frank.
I'm gonna burn my inspiration on something stupid.
You should, but not yet.
And never get it again.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No more inspiration for you.
So,
Well, if you're just going to waste it.
You're just using it on dumb shit. Right?
yeah, with that, though, the trading session seems like it's coming to conclusion. She comes back up and gets a report that, in fact, the sahuagin death runes have probably been removed from your hull. She says that they have, so it seems pretty good. And they took off some barnacles, too, so you might make a little bit better time.
Nice.
I know that about sailing.
Barnacles slow you down.
Yeah, barnacles slow you down. That's why you get out of the water for a while. Keel haul people. So, yes. Anything else? Especially like that's why pirates double duty. Get rid of a troublemaker and clean your hull. That's what keel hauling was all about. I read that somewhere. In any case, yeah, that is the scene. Is there anything else? No?
Nope.
No? Alright, move. You seem so...
Next.
No.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Where's the Jaflash?
I'm not, just not.
Where's my Jamoment?
I gave them my spear.
You did that, which was very generous. So they loved you for it. And they swim away. And, oh, merfolk friends. We call you merfolk friends. Friends of the sea. And then they swim, hey! And then away.
Yep.
Alright. Captain Rex said, well, that was damn pleasant. Weigh anchor, Captain.
Weigh anchor.
Ha! Alright, away you sail.
Fast travel music.
Yes, right. In fact, that is true, and you cruise by. You actually cruise by the cruise up to the inlet where you had once battled with the methods.
The mud encounter.
The mud methods, right? And that was a spot where you could take on water. Which, in fairness, you could in fact take on water there now. I'm not suggesting that you should or shouldn't, but the water is actually starting to run low. You can certainly do that.
Or methods.
Well, maybe more methods, but you did a pretty good job of destroying the hell out of those last time.
Yeah. Let's take on water. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, in the good way. Hang on.
Let's take on water.
Little hint of the plan for later, but
All right. Well, that goes fairly smoothly. You're able to provision up, and so now to answer the question, yes, you feel like you're well provisioned at least to be able to get to Borscht. You can figure out what to do next.
Perfect.
The day winds on, starts to become evening again. You're passing the coast. You're coming up to the next big spot, which is, you know that going directly north from where the coastline is, somewhere in that area, based on the maps that you have, is the Wildwalk, the large Siren bridge. That was one of the great monuments. The dwarves swear they constructed it, but Amixul swears that it's actually Siren in design. That is the Wildwalk right there. You're about right there. And it's heading into the dark of evening.
Same.
yeah.
Same plan? Yeah. All right. Idle and Varys take their turns at watch. Is that correct?
Yes.
When Idle, you are on watch, you see some things float up into the water.
Okay.
But you're not sure what they are, and then you see like some movements like that of water's out there, as if maybe something's worrying at it.
Suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Now, you have dark vision, true?
I think I do.
You
Yes,
do.
I do.
So, you, with a little bit of looking, actually see some corpses.
Oh.
Corpses.
They look like bloated, drowned corpses that
Oh.
actually float up in the water. And you see the telltale fin of sharks swimming around. And then, out of the blue...
Was that was
It was up on it was. It might not have been
was-
intended. Or was it?
Tell you in one moment. Yes, I think does 21 hit?
Yeah.
Your AC? Excuse me. From out of the darkness, from the crest of a wave, you see a wicked harpoon. And it
What the fuck?
buries itself in you.
Attack!
And
Everybody wake up!
you can certainly do that in a moment, and you will have a moment to, but not before you take 14 points of damage.
That's a bit.
And also, gosh, it's the
J Flash knew a fight was coming and just left.
That is probably true. Could you give me a strength check? Just roll strength with your mod.
Okay, so 7.
All right. You are pulled clear off the deck of the Blue Gambler.
I chug my potion of water breathing.
All right. Actually, even before you do that, just so you know, just quickly, you actually hear the navigator as you're going into the drink say, "Pilot, should I activate Void Protocol?"
Yes?
Yes. All right. You go into the water, and you realize that you can actually breathe without it,
Oh. Okay,
which is pretty neat.
that's good.
And you feel, or given the sense that there is a time limit on that right now Pilot can only do it for so long. But
Okay.
basically, it's a way of like protecting you from environmental hazard.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you're like, wow, I can exist without actually needing to breathe. And that flash pulses out. Now you're in the water, and this was a surprise round. So what you feel is a bunch of scaly hands with talons raking over you.
Okay.
And then, alarmingly, your pack is cut from
Oh,
you.
jeez. No, I need that.
And Navigator goes, "Pilot! Pilot!" And this flurry of like surge of water as they take off with the pack with Navigator
Right.
inside. And it's like, but you feel like a sense of like, it's trying to like put a signal, and they flow. And what you see before we can enter initiative round, as you're sitting there with the damage, and there's blood in the water.
Yeah.
You see
And sharks.
multiple reef sharks.
Yeah.
You actually see the dim outlines in the depths of like sahuagin with tridents at the ready, and a few other more ominous shapes. They look like the merfolk, but they're much larger.
Okay.
And they
Giant merfolk.
yeah, something like that. You're not exactly sure, but they look like monsters. Where the merfolk had a certain almost elven grace to them, these things look bestial and powerful and wicked.
Okay.
Are they Marrow?
And maybe they certainly match your description
Don't
if you
look
were
so
there.
excited.
Jack.
These are the guys I was waiting for. These guys will help us make a shipwreck.
And then
it might be our ship, though.
and then they book away. They book away as well. So amazingly, you are left, for the moment at least, just amidst 3 reef sharks
Okay.
with blood in the water.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so initiative.
Right.
Against sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. See, you didn't
my
miss anything.
God.
Just a couple of sharks.
Just a couple of
Should we
sharks.
all-
Oh, and Navigator got jacked.
Yeah.
But aside
also
from that,
Should we all be initiating?
well, so
or
you're
just-
sleeping technically, or at least below decks, and that's why I'm going to check in. Like Varys would probably be aware, but I want to see what you do.
I mean, he's probably if I'm alert and on watch, Ferris is probably trancing.
Yeah, he's probably trancing.
So I don't know how aware an elf is when.
I would say if you break the water and you're like, "Help me," he would be the first to respond.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so with that in mind, the initiative that I rolled was a 11.
Okay, well I rolled a 9,
Oh, all right.
so this sucks.
Well, maybe it does. There are 2 sharks that come over to just nibble on you.
Maybe.
Maybe. 14 misses.
That misses.
And a 17.
That hits.
Well, it is because of the aforementioned blood in the water. That's the only reason that
I
happened.
mean,
4 points of damage. Just
Oh, that's
just
okay.
a gentle, more of a sawing.
just
really,
a
than
just a nibble.
Yeah, just a bite. Just a bite. It tears at you. You see blood snake through the water, and then it goes away. It didn't really grab enough of you to get a piece to it. And now it is your turn, and you see the sharks circling around.
I would like to Misty step back onto the ship.
Well done. Yeah. All right. which is kind of cool because in this instance, you go to the Feywild. It says the time stood still here, but actually you swim through the Feywild, up into the glittering, crystalline sea, climb up onto the boat, which is just a beautiful, looks like a floating log, moss covered in its decadent splendor. And then you get back onto the ship and it's just a blue camel again.
Feywilds are way cooler.
It is actually way cooler. It is the black light world to this humdrum. Yeah. But anyway, so you're there.
Yep.
Whoosh, back onto the ship, and you still have an action.
I do, that's right, because
Yep.
that's a bonus action.
Yep.
Let's see, I feel like I have several questions. So can I still sense where the navigator is?
You have a general sense of it.
Okay.
A general sense.
Okay.
What?
Jared is interacting with Jared as Jared.
Oh my god. I hate
What a
this.
crazy... that's
so
why I
that-
never look at chat. I just go down that rabbit hole, and I simply can't do it.
But don't worry, it's so that we can do the same thing at the table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
There will
that's
be
right.
two Jareds.
There's always two Jareds.
Played by me.
Within one Jared.
I contain within me all possible Jareds.
Jaredception.
Yeah.
Jaredception.
Yo, dog, I heard you like Jared.
Yeah. So here's a Jared inside of Jared with some Jared.
So, you missy step up,
Yep.
and
I shout.
No, navigator's a metal sphere.
shout.
I shout.
Oh, yeah, I was just like, ah! So, like,
Is that a class
I mean,
ability?
just like a formless, more of a howl, really. Ah!
I mean, and then after that,
Yes.
we've been attacked!
We've been attacked. Which is good, because actually something you notice is that while the large shapes of what probably are marrow disappeared, and a couple of the other sahuagin figures look like they disappeared, a lot of the rank and file sahuagin appear like stayed behind. They're bloodthirsty sorts, and they are now like breaching the water, like.
They've taken a lot of my blood, so can they go away now?
I feel like you've contributed enough to the bounty of the ocean. So yes, all right. So you guys all hear the shouts. I do the lame thing where it's like, oh, you got to put on your armor. Dolphin donning is just not my thing. So let's go ahead and say we
I
roll
sleep in
initiative.
my armor. I'm a paladin.
What's that?
I sleep in my armor. I'm a
Yeah,
paladin.
that's probably
Not the best idea on a boat.
I've been through this.
You'll
If this
get
boat's
through
going down, we're dying.
it. You'll get through it.
It doesn't really matter.
All right, here we go. That's not good. But that's from oh my god. What happens when the sharks roll dynamite? It's really not like they're kind of
Should
like
we be doing something?
You hear the shout. So
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and roll. I'm sorry. Pardon. Yeah, roll initiative because I'm just
Just a lot of mumbling and cursing over there.
yeah. There's a lot of mumbling and cursing. Mostly because I'm like. Yeah. Yep. All right. So.
You want me to try and track the initiative?
I wonder if I can do it. I'm going to try to do it. Does anyone beat a 21?
No.
I know, but it's funny. Those are the sharks. Does anybody beat a 16?
I do.
All right. On a...
18.
All right. Flash. Siege of Flash. Here's some action for you.
I'm not going to action, though.
Really?
That's the best part.
Wait. No, you act within your actions.
Right.
15. Anybody beat a 15? Anyone? No, really?
Neither of me did.
12.
I mean, are you looking at me
Yeah.
like I should have
Oh,
rolled?
jeez.
Should I have rolled again?
What was your
It
initiative?
was 9.
Yeah, 9.
All right, both of the Jareds are above 12. So,
Okay. Jared 1.
Diedrich is at 14. Varys is at 12.
Perfect. There's
That's
12.
It just
Is it night? It's nighttime, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's this attack, even with dark vision, which you all have. The thing is, it's a pretty dark night, and it's the contrast of the ocean trying to pick things out with the swell of the waves and stuff. It's pretty damn hard. That is one of the advantages of attacking a ship, if you're like this. So we got 12 with Varys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I missing?
I have
Frank.
11.
All right, and then last but not least, I don't want a 9. All right, so you hear this hue and cry from the top of the deck. Sounds like, I think, fuck. It doesn't sound good in any case.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sharks swim about angrily, chew on a few corpses, and then you flash. Your turn.
So, do we see the sahuagin?
No, you are, I'm assuming you rest on the top of the deck.
Sure.
Sure, because you would. You're like always ready for it. You actually probably are lashed to the mast.
Not even
You're
live.
Wake up and just cut the ropes. Go for it. Or just statue friend just hold you against the mast. In any case,
cuddled.
yeah, just hold me. You know what? Steel armor, cuddled by a stone friend. There's no better way to sail.
No, not really.
Not
that I know of.
Not that I know. Absolutely, yeah. So you're on the deck. You see Idol actually misty step back, soaking wet, in a lot of pain. She seems to have taken a lot of damage. She's bleeding pretty bad.
Apparently enough for us to roll initiative.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah.
All right, I'm up for it.
Yeah. I'm awake! Ready to go!
Ready to go. Did you say anything specific or just like attack?
I think probably just we've been attacked. It hurts. Ow! Fuck! God damn it!
Yeah, it
All
was
right,
pretty
well,
shocking.
I'll
Might not know exactly what the nature of the enemy is yet, but
Is Ida within distance for me to lay on hands?
oh sure,
Yeah.
Oh, she's on deck?
she
Yeah.
misty
missed a
stepped
step.
back.
Oh,
which
that's
is
right, I missed
the
that.
cool Trixie
I missed-
Eladrin thing.
I'll cure 4.
Which I love
How
so
many?
much.
How many did you
Snickers,
got
see if
hit
I can
for
do
four?
this.
Oh, I got hit for more than that.
How much did you get? Oh, I wasn't here for the first
Oh,
hit.
yeah, that's right. So I got harpooned in the chest
You missed the
and
best
took
part
like
of this
15.
whole session.
Alright, I'll give you 15.
Thank you.
So lay on hands for 15 as my
Yay.
action, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to cast sleep on the sahuagin, but I can do that later.
I'm glad you didn't do
This
that.
is
I
where-
can do that.
Right, okay.
Truly.
If Jared were here,
But I just wanted to roll.
He'd be very upset.
Dice.
that we didn't move the camera
We'll see how
to the thing. But I'm going to tell the fine folks at home, don't worry about it. It's really not that interesting.
J Flash has got you. J Flash is moving
Oh,
the
J
camera.
Flash really does have you. Dun, 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 dun.
J Flash, don't
So-
got us.
Friends and family at home, this is what you can know. That is basically their ship. All those cool little die are sahuagin bursting up out of the ocean, out of the depths of the night, clambering now with their claws up the side of the boat. You can all hear that, regardless of where you are. You know the sound. You've lived through it before. Damn it, it's those damn sahuagin. If you could get your money back on those death rune removals, maybe now would be a good time. Only they really were removed. I'm sorry. The merfolk are good and kindly people. It's just the sahuagin were late.
Ineffectual.
Yeah. Maybe a little late, if nothing. But yeah, so that's it, basically.
All right.
And Jaflash, you said you laid on hands.
Yep.
Diedrich,
Yeah.
you know this drill.
Oh yeah, and we've got cool new minis.
Oh!
Shout out to Hero Forge
Yeah.
for making amazing minis that we just got. So Diedrich is gonna run to these guys. They're clambering up over the edge.
Yeah.
You said are they at the railings
They're
yet?
at the railings, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna run to. Well, I'm gone now.
That's pretty slick.
I'm gonna run to that railing and slash at it with my 2 axes.
Yes. Axes.
You could call them taxes.
One of those is a crit, so I'm gonna turn the crit into a
Bit.
a
So letter man.
goading attack.
Oh yes, all right, nice. Which one are you attacking? You're taking number 5?
I'm attacking number
Mhm,
5. The other one was a 13.
All right. You need to beat a 12.
Okay, so both of them did hit.
They do. In fact, remember that party. You just need to beat a 12.
Okay, so for the crit, I'm dealing 7 plus. Wow, that's pretty good. 15, 19. The crit was 23 damage.
What? That's a kill.
Okay.
Do your
alright.
kill sync.
I also hit it for 4 more damage with my offhand. I guess that doesn't matter.
Well, you can add that to like insult to
So
injury.
yeah, as I come in, I see it cresting the deck and just bury my hand axe of returning into its head and use my offhand attack to push it off the axe and back into
Nice.
the water.
And maybe part a little bit of throat flesh in the process, a little
Yep.
gill flesh. All right. Well, it like the stinky ichor spews out from the wounds you just gashed into it, and it sinks handily. And while the sharks had the initiative, they're going to just go ahead and just start savaging on that one as well
Nice.
because they're sharks.
The sharks were just readying their attacks.
They're ready to action. Whenever he goes over this side, I'm eating. That's right. That was their deal. That's what their deal is. All right.
So Varys.
Varys.
So other Jared.
Varys.
He's asked me to play as him.
Oh, we're reading
And-
that pun Muslan. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That's so cool, Ryan. I didn't even know you were here. It's good to see you, buddy. That's our one of our screenshot artists
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
extraordinaire, winner of the
Welcome.
last photo mode challenge. One of so good.
So good.
A truly inspired artist,
That's
and,
awesome.
and a great friend of the studio. Always is there to help us out with our theme challenges when we do.
But
photo
apparently
modes.
also very tired.
Oh well, because he's in Ireland, right? I believe, or Scotland.
Oh,
Yeah, so a long way away.
Swear really well.
Oh yeah.
it's true.
And host him anytime you want to. We will host you for sure when you do your. I always say it's Bob Ross meets Mordor. Sorry for the diatribe, but that was just like
That's
seriously.
awesome.
He does some awesome streams where he walks people through our photo mode, and it's like I'm
That's so
jokingly, it's
cool.
like he's the Bob Ross of our photo mode. Okay,
Awesome.
thank you, Ryan. You can't see me, but still, thank you, Ryan. All right, back to you. Back to the action.
So Varys has selected through the power of instant messaging to turn into a giant toad. So Varys.
Oh, that's why we have giant.
That's why
toad
we.
on
Yeah,
the
you guys
TV.
can't see. We have a huge TV set up with just the stat block for a
I
giant
didn't
toad.
know what that was all about. I thought that was avant-garde art or something.
It's
Right?
it's
I
an
love what you've done
installation.
here. Text box. That is so cool.
Aren't we all giant toad?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. See, I can't eat candy bars anymore. I just flecked more peanut at you. This is terrible. Yes.
So Varys in giant toad mode.
Toad.
Toad mode. He rolls up to this one.
Yes.
And bites it.
Yeah, it gives it a nice little toad bite. That's interesting.
He wants to tell you that he has savage attack.
So you can reroll
I can
that
re-roll a bad roll. That's on the damage, right? Well, I don't think I'm gonna need it because that is a 9 to hit. Can I re-roll the attack roll? Is that what savage attack does?
I have no idea.
So
On the damage, yes. Okay, so unfortunately,
Mm.
I can't help you, Varys. I'm sorry. You've chosen a bad avatar.
So you went for a tongue lashing of the sahuagin, but it missed. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bit off more than I could chew.
Oh, boy, that's pretty good. Your
My-
reach exceeded your swallow.
My giant eyes were bigger than my giant stomach.
Okay. All right. Yes. And then meanwhile, back at the front,
Okay.
you were just rocking out with your Siren Walkman. Right? Like, that's right. Frog, we're being attacked. Turn that Siren artifact down.
Okay, so I'm gonna come up. Wait, is that 6? Another one of them?
Yeah, there are 6. So what I've done is I've just cleverly
Okay.
made those die each.
Okay,
equal
great.
one.
And Deidre already offed one, and so they're all just clambering up over the edge of the ship. Here.
Yes, they'll be up there any moment now.
Uh,
Slow climbers.
so they're still climbing.
They're still
They're not
climbing.
on deck yet.
No, they're at the railings, basically.
Okay.
It seems like the next turn they'll be able to actually close.
Or the
it
next
on.
time you ask, they'll probably be
You know what? They're here.
done with your questions. They are on the deck.
They're on the deck.
All
They're
right.
closing.
Okay, I'll just come up here and pull out my longsword and 2-hand thrust down into the
yeah.
guys he's clambering
Yeah.
up over.
A
That
cranial
edge.
walloping.
That's a
So remember,
12.
12 hits. 12 hits. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 hits. 12's a hitter.
Alright, let me get my d10. So that's 7 points of damage.
7 big old points of damage. Do as you like. See, as you gain levels, these same people that bedeviled you for so long, now they're just kind of like getting a little mooky in the process. Mooks. Heard that expression before? Yes. All right. Frank, was that it? I don't mean to say it like that.
Yeah,
but-
that's all I got right now. Still waking up, a little sleepy.
You are. That's totally fair. So you get a lot of it. Slashes down the cheek of it. You miss dead center, but you still you scar it for life. Idle.
yeah,
Now back
Short-
in it.
short
Yep.
life.
All right.
Yep.
You can see these little sea bastards that have conspired to take away your navigator.
yeah. I want to do some stabbing.
Do some stabbing.
I want to attack this one with my 2 daggers.
All right.
So this one is the +1.
Yes. 12 or better. I don't mind saying.
Okay, so that one definitely hits. This one, I think that's just a 10. Cool. It's just 1d4. No sneak attack damage this time, huh?
No, actually, see, that's what happens when you're down a player.
Yep, that's an 8.
All right, 8 big points of damage on number 6. All All right. That's how it also, like, you slash at it effectively, and it scores a hit, but it still seems pretty in the game, pretty ready to fight. And on that note, remember I was talking about those sahuagin being on the railing? Well, guess what? They're not on the railing anymore, friends. They leap up the last little bit. They bound into action. I'm sorry to say, Idle, this one's going to close on you because it seems like they know you. Or not know you, but there's like something going on.
They've got the scent.
They got a scent. They got a scent.
You're the wettest.
Are you currently damaged?
Yes.
Okay, this is another thing that happens with sahuagin is they have a bit of blood frenzy because they have a bit of the shark mentality. I'm gonna does a 21 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. So, jeez, I always say roll damage at the same time, and then I don't. 4 points of damage as it strikes out at you with a bite, and then it rears back, and the real kicker. 12 is for sure a miss. It thrusts with its spear, but it just glances. You're able to dodge quite quickly out of the way. The other one, I know, definitely hits with the bite for another 3 points of damage as its teeth sink into the flesh of your arm. And then it does the same thing with a cruel. Oh, yeah, that hits. 22.
Yeah.
It cocks back and it delivers a cruel thrust for another 8 points of damage.
Okay,
It
well.
scores right into your abdomen.
Yeah, that sucks.
You all see that Idle seems to be getting ganged up on. However, you also have a few problems of your own. Diedrich, or I'm sorry, Frunk, do you have, are you damaged at all? Okay. 22 hit?
Yep.
All right.
You will be damaged.
You will be damaged now. All right. It bites you. This is a running tally, I realize, but it bites you for 3 points of damage, just scores your forearm also, and then rears back for an ugly attack. 18. Whew, man, well, these guys still hit, which makes me, that's bounded accuracy for you. For 9 more points of damage. Once again, two-handed, a cruel thrust right into your chest, scores your armor quite badly and punches beneath. Diedrich?
Yep.
Okay, are you damaged yet?
Not yet.
All right, something to look forward to. 15.
Miss.
All right. 13's miss. So
Strangely, that hits.
it could happen, right? It was like, so it effectually snaps out at you. And lastly, my friend Jaflash.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Which one?
That's
yes,
Varys.
That's Toad
Varys.
Varys.
where's
That's-
sorry.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But those two attacked Idle, right?
Yeah, they did, and I'll stand by that. But that's right. So you will be able to interpose and maybe get some of those off of you.
You could have. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He could have.
You could have
You could
imposed
have.
disadvantage on any of those attacks
That's
that
right.
were against me just
It's
now.
Thanks for the help.
You.
Help!
Yeah, good looking out, Idle.
You gotta help me right here. Your flash helps those.
So that reminded you you'll do it next turn, right?
Sure.
Does a 20 hit
What is it?
Varys?
An 11
Oh my
hits
God.
Varys.
Oh my gosh, because he's a large spongy
You
toad.
use your protection fighting
All
style.
right.
That's all it is.
Toad tank is
So-
going to take
That's
some
all it
damage.
Varys is going to take
It's right there.
5 as
Yep.
the Sahuagin
I can
seems
take
somewhat
that as
reluctantly
even though
to
I've
sink
already
its
used
teeth
It's
into the
your
flesh
reaction.
of his toad-like body.
Yep.
And you said 11 hits?
An 11 hits.
All right. Well, after the foul taste of toad, which maybe this is the toad that Sahuagin will start tripping a little
Yeah.
bit because I've heard that happens with toads.
All hail Battletoad.
Battle toad. 5 more points of damage with the spear, so 12.
Okay. I got you.
5
I got you.
and- yeah. 5. So Varys got roughed up a little bit by the Sahuagin. Idle seemed to be targeted a little bit with residual hatred or something going on. And with that, though, we go at the top of the round. Where the sharks continue to worry very angrily at the Sahuagin corpse as well as some of the other sailor corpses, and then we drop down to Jaflash.
First thing I'm going to do is cast Compelled Duel on
nice.
one of them.
What does that do? That sounds awesome.
That basically makes them attack me.
Compel duel. That's great.
Yar,
It's
yar. It's it's like lure.
Yes, I love it. I'll tell you what, unless there's a save, I'll just know that you're going mono I saguano.
Compelled Duel. You attempt to compel a creature into a duel. They must make a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. Sahuagin are not particularly known for their whiz.
15.
They fail.
All right.
Yeah, you only need to do it on one, right? Or is it all of them?
Whichever
just
you
pick
attempt
one.
to compel a creature into a duel. So one of those I'll compel.
All right, compelled.
Yeah.
So say we all.
Yep. And then basically, for the duration, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you, and must make a Wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you.
It's not going to do any of those things.
Perfect.
Dual accepted. Dual accepted.
Sounds good.
You could have just asked.
and then I guess you know what's funny? You could move just to play the wit of tactician. Technically, you could move if you wanted to it because you'd pull that one away. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I actually would want to move.
Oh, that's right. To interpose.
Interpose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Dietrich.
Yeah, swinging my axes at my new. I lost my last merfolk somewhere, so I guess I'll play with this one.
Well, these are Sahuagin, but still,
They're all
you'll
merfolk
get
to
your
me.
taste of marrow. Don't you worry about that.
So I'm going to turn... One of these is for sure a miss, but before I tell you the number, I'm going to use my precision attack to add my superiority die to that attack roll instead of the damage. That's probably going to hit. So it's a 13 and a 13 and an 18 now.
Yeah, those hit.
All right, so but not much damage this time because I burned that on the precision. So just math. Stay in school, guys. 10 total damage between the two hits.
All right. Well, that's still pretty good damage. Still seems pretty upright and mobile, but yeah, good shots.
All right.
Varys. So are you still going to try to swallow a Sahuagin?
He's been talking about this swallowing thing in chat.
This is fascinating. I want to see it done.
All right, so we're gonna roll to try to bite. That's better. So that's a 16 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
So it takes 9 piercing damage, 1 poison damage, so 10 total damage, and it is automatically grappled. And next turn, if I bite it again and it's still grappled, Jared 2, can just swallow it whole.
Oh, plus
It's restrained.
plus 5 poison.
I rolled for it, so it was only 1 poison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 10
that's
total
a good-
damage.
yeah. Yep.
10 total damage.
Yep.
And grappled and restrained.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then next round the toad, Varys the toad can swallow that Sahuagin.
But it
which
could
seems kind of gross, but he's
It looks
very
like it
excited
could
about
try to escape DC 13.
Yeah.
On its turn.
Yes, which I guess that could be crawling back out of the gullet of the toad.
It's just sort of wrapped up in the tongue
Right.
now. Yeah.
All right. The Sahuagin is disgusted by this turn of events. This is a briny sea creature. It doesn't like this at all. Does not like it at all.
Not one bit.
Frunk, can you top that? Let's see you swallow a Sahuagin.
Okay.
It reminds me of the old
Not to be outdone.
Yeah, not to be outdone.
The orc
Watch
of the
this. He dislocated his jaw. It was amazing.
All right. So I am going to. I'm going to grab the Sahuagin in front of me that just bit and slashed me, and get a little more personal ragey about this. And I'm going to begin sort of uncomfortable bardic percussive chant with punctuating with headbutts and just smashing my face into this guy's face, creating a rhythm which will throw bardic inspiration towards Idol. As she, also very deeply wounded by these guys, appreciates me face slamming this thing
Seriously.
very aggressively.
There's nothing like the percussion of the hollow ringing cranium.
Skull on skull.
Yeah, skull on skull. If you have the means.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's a
very,
big ol' hit.
Very much.
All right. And so, not only that, but do you want to... because I feel like you should do some damage with that or something.
I hope so.
Yeah, I would think so. So what are you going to do?
That's not like a side effect. That's
Right.
like...
Is there some
Primary.
rule for when I'm just doing weird physical bludgeoning things instead of
So-
using my weapons? Because I've got all these stats for weapons.
I know, and this is the thing we should talk about. Let's improvise a little bit right now and figure out later, because I
I like
love
to
when
do
you
it.
do stuff like that, but
feels
bards
very
are terrible
frumpy.
for unarmed. That's the problem. Like, a lot of people are, unless you're a
I'm
monk.
a big fucking strong
I know.
half orc beast of a bard though.
There's a rule for this.
I think it's 1d4 plus strength.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that's what it is. It's
That
D4
sounds
plus
great.
strength. Oh no! I know you can do that much, but compared to a
But
great
better.
sword
Yeah.
or something. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is maybe there's a way we can figure out how to do that, or
There's
maybe
a-
we can just
there's a
say
feat for it, I think.
yeah, or maybe we can just say you do damage because Junior. Actually, it's talking about sync actions. Maybe like you go walk and it's like right with like stone fist.
Synchronized.
So we could, yeah, right. It's kind of like we'll just go story side on this. So actually, yeah, what would be a mace? The damage.
1d6.
All right, roll a d6 plus strength. This is actually you cracking and then stone friend. I keep saying it because I do like stone
So
friend.
then that's 8.
All right, 8 total damage. 1, 3 total damage. So yeah, basically, as you all see, Frank do that and cast
You
his
have the bardic
inspiration.
Yes.
Junior just like stumps over and actually also headbutts. So you get the double bass drum. Right? It's like, and the sahuagin really looks like it's gonna get seasick.
Amazing.
Idle.
So the bardic
Over to you.
inspiration is I can add a d6. Is that correct? To my
Okay, let's... Because I also have, because I went College of Valor, I have combat inspiration as
ooh
well
yes okay.
added to that. So, yeah, so you get a d6,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use it once in the next 10 minutes
Yep.
to roll, to add to an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty good.
And also, let's see, this is, you can also use it now, the combat inspirations, you can add it to the weapon damage roll you just made.
Ooh. Okay.
I look over and see
Or-
Matt. You look very engaged.
Oh, no. I'm
You're
sorry.
intently looking. No, I'm sorry.
Or you can roll it to add to your AC against an attack made against you.
Oh shit.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Rules are
okay.
cool.
I have options.
I want that old, like, tell me your secrets meme. Or, tell me your secrets dice. Investigate them.
All right, go
Okay.
fire at will.
I'm attacking with both my daggers. The green one is the +1. Again. Okay, so
That's-
let's see. That it might still 5 plus 7 is 12. So
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, so that's
better
good.
than 12.
And then that one's also
Yep.
a hit. So they both hit. So let's see. To these. So
Nice.
so 8 and then 5 and then I will add damage and oh shit! I get sneak attack damage.
Oh god.
Oh,
Is that
Also-
right there?
Yep.
Let's see.
This
So
is-
start with
this is-
that.
That's flash
Start with
damage.
that. Oh my god, that
But
sucks.
still.
Okay, so-
remember you damaged this one already. It's
Yeah.
on its last
8.
fin.
13, 14, 15, 16 damage in total.
All right, that's a good kill.
That is
That's
a kill.
good kill.
Okay, hang
Uh,
on to that inspiration.
Death by multiple cuts. It just flops onto the deck and then blunk into the ocean where the sharks once again. Hey, more conflicted but still hungry. Nice job, Idol.
Thank you.
Now,
Which
yep,
one?
well done. Well, I think you compelled that one, so Mr.
Yes,
6.
that one.
And so, speaking of which, Mr.
mine.
Compulsion actually goes up and attacks. Flash, have you been damaged yet?
I have not.
Yes. No, that's great. That's what you want to do. A bite is going to hit, and the spear is going to hit, I believe, a 19.
No.
No, 21 hits
Mr.
though.
Armor.
21 hits, yeah.
But all right, that's awesome.
20. You have to roll 20.
That's pretty dang good. So the bite alone, 4 points of damage. It goes past your shield just a little bit and levers some of your
The
blood.
shield's like...
Yeah, there you go. Right, the shield is because it turned away the spear, which was going to be much more telling. And then, all right, Diedrich, you are injured.
Uninjured.
Uninjured. Gosh, all these uninjured friends. All right, then the bite definitely misses you. 18
18 hits.
for 3 points of damage. A glancing blow.
Is that all you got?
That's all it's got. Frunk, over to you. Injured? Not injured.
Yes.
All right, injured. Oh boy. Bite misses. And unfortunately, the spear is a critical hit. Yes, that happens sometimes. but
Well,
Don't pretend to be surprised.
It hadn't happened yet this fight. It had to happen
wait.
sometime.
It doesn't actually have to happen sometime. I mean, it's...
That's
Nine
the
points
percent
of
chance of
damage.
it.
9?
9.
Okay.
The
That's
evidence
really not bad.
disagrees.
That's not that bad.
No, did you all hear that? 9 points of damage.
That's not bad.
That's
It's fine.
nothing for
Fine.
Frunk. That's nothing for Frunk. And then now we get back to the benighted sahuagin in the belly of the toad, really in the belly of the beast.
He's not swallowed yet.
So he needs to degrapple himself with an escape or a strength opposed check, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
for DC 13. Yeah.
All right, he's going to go strength because whatevs. Varys, can you beat a 4? You want to just...
It's
It's
a DC
13.
13.
Oh, wow.
We've
oh,
got
it's
it.
not
We've
a
got it
bonus.
in the art
So,
installation.
yes.
Okay.
He has
So,
beaten it.
Yeah, it has been beaten. It has been thoroughly beaten. All right, Varys, you feel the sahuagin writhe and squirm. Really doesn't want to be swallowed by a toad, but it's not able to escape your tongue grasp. Yes.
Really gave him a tongue lashing.
The tongue lashing. I was going to that one earlier. All right. So
That's good.
meanwhile, the shark's ready in action to eat something, and then Jaflash. This one that you compelled the duel of
Yeah.
didn't come off very good for it.
No, it didn't. I'm gonna hold an action.
Well,
Yeah.
remember, you could also fight defensively, which I believe gives everything a disadvantage on attacking you.
What does that even mean? Fighting defense?
Well, it's just basically like you're on the balls of your feet. You got your shield out in front of you, ready for anything that comes out on the highway, looking for adventure. I mean, it doesn't
gonna
affect
hold.
any other thing, right? It's just like right.
All right, I do that because
Right, give it a
that sounds
place.
utterly ridiculous.
Right.
It's the
It
the
does
shield
like-
making that sound.
It keeps
Right.
looking for your sword. It's like, I've never seen a human fighter have a fight like this. I don't know where to see him.
What an amazing feint! It's like he has no weapon at all.
But these guys seem to be doing fine, right?
Yeah,
And
they,
so I
yeah, they
just-
really, they
okay,
really.
yeah.
Yeah.
There we
are.
All right.
All right, we maxed
Woo!
out. So
All right,
we made
friends.
sure and clipped on the.
Cool.
So
Okay.
the
All right.
Tarask pins around and looks at the mech that you have constructed.
Did my demon ritual complete?
Yes, it just did.
All right.
Yes.
Uh,
Previous flames fall from the sky.
All right. So I'm turning my one hit into a goading attack. Jeez, cannot roll today. So that's going to be 6 total damage.
6 total damage. All right, on the one that bedevils you. You know what? That is enough
Great.
to
That's
kill
why-
that one
that's
into
why I
the briny
saved-
deep. Would you like to do
That's why I saved my main attack. So I'm going to turn around, move halfway down the deck towards Frunk, because Frunk's looking a little in trouble maybe. And I'm going to throw my hand axe of returning at that one.
Nice. Actually, that's it.
That's better. So that's definitely a hit. That's a 19 to hit and 10 damage.
Nice. Okay, so you hit it squarely in the forehead, which has been softened already, it must
Yeah.
be said, by the repeated headbutting.
Yeah.
So it's really nice and pulpy there. Thunk, it goes in, and as it's falling back, you see it disappear over the railing, and then your axe,
Hand axe comes back.
right up out of the side and back into your hand quite well.
Turn to
You're
Frank and
really
say,
chumming. You're
got a
really
little,
chumming the water here.
A little Sahuagin. You good? You good, man? All right.
Tatted yourself up there. All right. So that was Diedrich. Varys.
Now this is
Let's
the moment
swallow
of truth.
this thing. Let's swallow this thing. And by the way,
I totally believe that we can do this.
Oh.
We're gonna try to swallow. Nope.
Toad.
So not. Oh wait, do I have advantage against it or no?
No.
No.
This is what it's all about, peeps.
All
Does
right.
Varys have inspiration?
Does Varys have
This is
inspiration?
the big question. I got to pull chat back up to ask Varys.
Varys.
Varys, do you have inspiration? Do you want to use it?
Take a
And then
while.
we wait 15 seconds.
Oh no!
Genchi's on this.
We're trying.
Eat him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genchi says. Varys
Yeah.
says.
I have inspiration. All right.
Eat
Yeah,
it.
just
All
do
right.
it.
We're
not
burning.
waiting
We're
to
burning
answer something.
Varys's. We're burning,
Eat
burning Varys's inspiration to get a
Yeah.
22 to eat.
Oh, let's just.
Goddamn.
That thing is now. So it's swallowed, which is awesome, and now it starts to take 3d6 acid damage at the start of each of the toad's turns.
Yeah, and so
You really will digest it.
it still takes the bite damage. So it took 9 damage from the bite
Yeah,
to eat him.
Yeah.
and then it'll get digestion damage.
How, when he turns back into an elf,
So
How does that work?
this is the thing. I
He's
wanna
just
know.
This
really
is
well
not
fed.
Hulk's pants. this is Hulk's intestines. Like, I don't understand how this works.
Like, actually, this is the truth. Bruce Banner would have to, when he changed back, he'd have to take a monster crap if he ate like the Hulk, right? Like, that's the
Yeah,
first
like,
thing. Like,
dude,
oh my god!
When he feels it coming, he's got to use his second beast form to go bear.
I don't think some tracks. Well, be that as it may,
That's true. He doesn't need any of the fish we just traded for.
Yeah.
that's actually I'm full of that sahuagin. I'm still working on.
Are you hungry? No, I had a medium-sized biped the other day. I'm good.
I think that's the trident. Hold on.
Swallowed.
So, congratulations, Varys. You swallowed your first creature.
There was an old druid who swallowed.
Okay, I guess. All right, congratulations. Now it's being digested in your stomach.
Don't know why he swallowed the sahuagin. Perhaps he'll die.
So yeah, we're going to figure out that metaphysical after effect later because I am really curious what happens. It's only an hour. Can you really digest an entire sahuagin?
A
in an
druid's
hour?
stomach is basically a bag of holding.
Yeah, that's
It's a
probably.
bag of sahuagin.
Yeah, but it was a sahuagin. Yeah, because I guess that's really true. And also 3d6 acid damage every start of every turn. Which
By
is
the end of
every
the
6
hour,
seconds. Yeah,
it's
you
gone.
think it's a paste.
It's like Coca-Cola.
Easily
in there.
passed. One last thing before I change back. Ribbit. Okay, well, the sahuagin go away, and they fall off. They've been killed. You see that the sharks continue to tear at their former masters, which is probably a little bit of ghoulish comeuppance for them. And then they swim off as well. The water slowly dissipates the blood. Oh, yes, that's right.
Good idea.
And then, however, more importantly, as this battle probably raged on for several minutes, but actually
Yeah.
really not that long. It's early, just past midnight, so maybe too dark to. You have a sense that you could potentially go any general direction, but to be honest, it might be tough. It's like tracking through the ocean.
Well, I know which direction it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, probably. I mean, it was. I'm gonna tell you, because of your sense with the navigator, you can know that it was basically north, which would be back a little bit towards.
That would be towards land.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're a fair ways out at this point, just because you didn't want to risk drifting into the.
So what happened?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Idle,
so-
you seem distraught.
Yeah, so the navigator got stolen.
Luckily, I actually had to leave the room, so this actually
Right, because
explains
otherwise
to
you
me
would
what
have
happened.
turned no fucking way.
Right, yeah, so the navigator got stolen. Actually, my whole backpack got taken, which is all my money and a lot of my other things. So we really should get that back. Like, we need that to do what we're gonna do.
Who stole it? We just
The-
killed a bunch of
The,
these guys.
those under the water, when they yanked me off of the ship.
So,
The guys we just killed?
Yeah,
well, some of them.
some of them.
There was.
Do any of them have it?
No.
No. Although now it'd probably be in the shark's gullet, so then Varys would have to swallow a shark in
Well-
order to
He swallowed the shark to get the backpack.
get the
yeah.
navigator. What happened was, when Idle was on watch on the deck, a harpoon flew out of the darkness at her, speared her, and then
Yeah, that was the
Jerked
wound
her.
that you healed. The
So-
giant gaping hole in my chest.
I'm
And then she-
following chat here.
Yes.
And if I'm intuiting this correctly, Varys in toad form has heard this story and leapt into the water.
very true. But so here's the thing. I was thinking about
He's
this.
gone. It's too late.
Okay, so
Is he a
I
saltwater
can't-
toad?
I can't talk me out of it. I'm sorry.
and so I'll
As
just
a druid, I think he would know better than that.
probably, but so because the famous deep sea toads, which we've all heard storied in myth
Yeah.
and song, unfortunately, that's a couple more levels until you get the deep sea toad, Varys. Right now, you're just still like a humble amphibious toad. Getting down deeper than even like 30, 40 feet is very uncomfortable for you because the pressure starts to be really and it burns, right?
All right. So we fish him out of the water.
Yes.
Okay.
And it actually just whoop, hops back up onto the deck, and it's a large, adorable toad. Quickly, Jafesh, yes, what happened was Idle believes that she kind of identified the shapes of what were like marrow. And when she describes it, Krumach can confirm that as well as Diedrich. Marrow were like a larger, vicious
And
form
they
of
didn't
merfolk.
head out to sea.
they once they got the pack, weirdly, like they actually looked like they were on a mission. They actually swam away
But they went towards land.
quickly. Yeah, well, I'm assuming that you guys are like 5 miles out, so they swam, more close towards the grotto area. There were other shapes in the water beyond just those sahuagin, which appeared to be the boarding party, and there were some sharks. It was a pretty horrific scene for Idle, and then she was attacked by that, and the sharks scored her, and then she jumped out of there. So in the meantime, Pilot had said, should I activate void protocol, which appears to be, I assume you'd share this, but if you, is basically, it allowed her to breathe without air for a while. And then Pilot kind of went away, and it was a little bit of a like a beacon.
Back towards land.
Yes. I mean, it's not like it's on land.
But I'm just saying.
Just
like,
in that direction.
You're miles probably off of land.
You could
Because
have a cave down there somewhere, still miles away.
yeah, maybe, right? I was saying, like, but if you're thinking like it was out to the depths of the ocean, no, this is looking like they swam somewhere off.
Yeah, we gotta do something about this, you guys.
Yeah, why would they go after this thing?
I don't know.
Why would they?
It's shiny.
It is.
They're
I feel like they were probably
stupid,
put up
easily
for this.
distracted creatures.
Somebody could have said, "Hey, creepy underwater guys, this elf lady has a thing that
Go get this
you
thing.
should go get, and then I will reward you handsomely." Like, it's not out of the question.
Well,
I
then
feel
they
like.
have to return to land to deliver it.
Exactly.
Yes, that was my thinking.
You have a sailorish skill, sailor lore, or something of the sort.
I have water vehicles as a
That's-
proficiency.
That's like,
You know what?
I mean, it's technically sailing.
Between you and Krumach swapping
Yeah.
sailor stories at the moment, what you can say is that, based on the description that Idle gave, they were Merrill,
Yep.
which you know are like the coastal raiders, right up there with Sahuagin, and they often work together. Merrill by themselves, probably not up to the task of organizing an ambush like this, or even really being able to identify why that would be important. But the Sahuagin certainly have, upper castes that are more intelligent. In fact, even rival, the aquatic elves in terms of ingenuity.
Could Sahuagin be communicated with? Would they speak common or anything?
They have shark telepathy. So the funny thing is,
That's a weird way to answer that question.
I know. You actually think that it's possible that some of the upper caste may speak common, but most Sahuagin actually just speak their own native tongue,
Okay.
which is kind of a grating, grinding, clicking. Other aquatic races could probably also speak Sahuagin or communicate in something.
Like the merfolk.
Only we had a druid here who had bonded with a merfolk druidess. But he kind of did.
But it's the middle of the night.
It is, and this is probably a bad time to try to do a raid, because even with dark vision out to 120, 60?
Oh no, it's like 60. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be tough. It would be tough to go right now after them. And notwithstanding, it did seem like yes, the druidess. He croaks for the druidess. All right, we're going to get back to you on that in a moment, Bears. But you do think that you could definitely try to do a little bit more in the morning?
Okay.
Okay.
I know, and I mean,
So we'll wait.
it is difficult.
We'll wait for sunup and then have a plan ready.
Yes. So,
Do we get our
it is
rest
a
on?
fitfulness. You can do a rest if you as well. You can rest.
Please.
The remainder of the night passes remarkably peacefully. And in the morning, actually, so Varys, you would have switched to, yes, how do I say for you? Oh, what? I don't even know what that means.
Really?
I think we allow it. I think we allow the post.
I can't see
We're
the rest
allowing
of
it,
it.
Myers, because it doesn't seem fair.
Allow.
Allow.
And,
There you go.
And hope.
Yes, so you croak loudly for the druidess. Here's what I say. In the morning, Varys, you can turn yourself into a reef shark or a dolphin, which is one of the beast shapes that the druidess, you had swapped beast shapes. So Varys, if you want to be something like that,
He called out octopus earlier.
octopus. as a
Seems
druid,
less useful.
less usual.
I don't
I
want-
think they're
I don't
really
wanna-
esoteric shapes.
As-
Sea cucumber.
As the resident Jared, I don't want to harsh on his jive
no,
here.
I think that's true.
With
You
a
could
giant
be.
octopus, it's still not as big as you think.
What is your instrument?
No, even giant octopuses are pretty small. However,
But it's not a giant octopus.
You could be a fucking shark,
and a
man.
giant octopus.
You could be a reef shark. You're really
right.
good. You could have the streamlined body of a reef shark.
You
You
didn't-
could swim 40 feet around, or you could be a giant octopus.
And just be
Undulate.
really smart and be able to open up peanut
Let
butter
me
and
But if
jelly
there's-
cans.
yeah,
Yeah, what if they put the navigator in a jar? We
True.
can use
Use
the
his
octopus.
tentacles.
Or what if you needed to write something and you're like, does anybody have any ink at this very second? Also, octopus are very smart.
I've
They're
been
one of
linked.
the
I've been
smartest
linked to stat block to the giant octopus. I
Please
think this
let
is
me
happening.
finish my thought
dear. Yes.
that I tried to say like a minute ago, which is that it's possible that an octopus would be able to stealth into some location like a cave underwater
Well-
and squeeze through nooks and crannies and so on to get to where
Yeah.
where they may have hidden this thing if it ends up that they've hidden it in an area where this is necessary. So we should wait to do the beast shape stuff until we actually get to the general location.
Sounds good.
Wow, I gotta say though, also big props to Idle, to Tracy, and big props to Jared / Varys for totally owning this discussion. That giant octopus is dynamite, Recon. Look at that underwater camouflage. Breathe for an hour out of water. Swim 60. That thing puts a fucking shark to shame.
Yep.
Well, we stand corrected.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, we've all. So this is.
We don't have any legs to stand on, but he's got 8.
I could feel that one coming. and-
So here's what I would like to do because I want to get the whole party back for what's coming. So I'm going to describe what you are doing with Aloquia, Varys, and then we'll go from there. She actually, when you finally are able to bring her back, and they were enough in the vicinity that Varys is able to do some quick swimming, far ranging, and join up with her. She knows of an area called Corpse Mirk.
We're going there.
That actually is what she would consider to be a somewhat haunted. Let's say Corpse Mirk. Corpse Mirk.
Oh,
My
that's
own
better.
stuff.
You fixed
Wait.
the wrong part of that.
Because right,
Corpse Smirk?
Corpse Mirk.
Sorry, Croissant Meyer. I got
Corpse
it.
Mirk.
Oh, there we go.
So
let
like
me-
a half smiling corpse.
Yeah, basically. So,
Corpse.
like after it's dead, but it still thinks it's got one over on you.
Yeah,
You killed me, but
yeah, corpse smirk.
so.
Have another almond joy.
Yeah, I know. So please remind me never to actually eat sugary, sticky anything and then try to emote as a dungeon master. So Corpse Mirk is basically this very large kelp forest that appears to be the home of a particularly odious band of Marrow and Sahuagin, which together have formed a band called the Black Kills. And
Like a metal band?
a metal band. Yeah, and their first album is Corpse Mirk.
Yeah.
So it's really like you see what they're doing
Yeah.
there, and they just need a bass. So the Black Gills actually are this band. She knows that there is a particularly vile priestess that actually leads the band called Flakotha. Flakotha. That's right. I'm not messing
Smart.
with you. I'm not messing with you. It's because I thought about names that
It's
would
because
sound.
you had a stroke when you were writing these. That's really what-
I
Can you
said-
feel anything on your left hand side?
Flakotha. No, you know what it is? It's because it's like what would sound like something an aquatic creature would try to articulate. Right? So I have
I like it.
Aloquia and Flakotha. So Flakotha, the Sahuagin priestess, who actually leads this band, and she's in league with other things besides. It's pretty vexing. Varys, you actually go and you get close enough to Corpse Mirk that you see it is a very large, like kelp forest that actually goes up almost to the top of the water's edge, and then like a half a mile beyond is the actual shore of this large grotto. Down within the kelp forest, which you ghost around the perimeter and you're able to go a little bit further, but you see that there are actually lots of drowned bodies of humans, humanoids, land-dwelling creatures that have been tied up to rot within the fronds of the kelp forest. There are also sharks, reef sharks, that patrol around, and you do see the occasional vast hulking shape of a marrow, which are large humanoid creatures compared to the she being smaller. Loquia is like, I'm not going any further into this. This is beyond our purview, but this is where the Black Gills would have taken anything if they truly prize it. One other last little tease for you, Varys, that you can bring back to the party, is that you realize that within this kelp forest of Corpse Mirk, the priestess Flakotha has actually set up shop, it looks like, in what was the crumbling ruins of just part of a vast Syrian fortress. There's only just a bit of wall left and a tower, and beneath that, embedded into the base of the tower, what probably did a ton of damage to this fortress, is a huge catapult shot. Like, huge, like gigantic, the size of several blue gambles, that was fired from what kind of engine of war you could not possibly imagine. And it had shattered this fortress and brought low. And actually, part of what the Kelp's forest is it's the impact crater that was just kind of like crushed down this tower. And somewhere inside of that is the band and the navigator, hopefully. Better be. But probably. And so Varys comes swimming back as the octopus and probably very delightfully slobbers over the side and then turns back into Varys and says, I bet. Yeah, you scouted ahead.
We did that. You did that. You did it great.
You did a great job. There's no way you by yourself could make it all the way into the actual holdfast of Corpse Mirk. However, that would be a bridge too far.
You'd get eaten.
You get eaten by something. But that's what you can report back. I think I know where it is, and I think it's in this badass kelp forest. I think we can get there. And then in addition to that, you realize that I'm just going to just tip my hand here because this is something that happened when you were paired with as the Syrian crew, or at least being paired with the crew. One of the things when it shocked through you, that rush of electricity, is you actually were imbued with the ability to void protocol. You can actually exist without air for up to 3 hours per long rest.
Ooh.
But once activated, so in other words, you can't go 5 here, 3 here.
Right.
It's like, do it, and then another long rest. Because when the crew is outside of the ship, sometimes you gotta be able to breathe without air. Pretty cool.
That makes sense if you're in space.
Right? Maybe the twirling vortex of Snarlaflax, for instance. Just pulled that one out.
Or space.
That's for you. That's for you. Snorlax, the flat tax.
Are your fingers tingling?
With
How is
power.
it like?
Yeah, you never know. So hopefully, Jared, you'll be able to join us. Hopefully you'll be able to join us next week because you can make that run. All right, thanks everybody.